Fujifilm has a new pint-size addition to its X-series cameras coming in late June, the X-Half. It's an 18-megapixel half-frame camera with a portrait-oriented sensor and viewfinder and a fixed 32mm, equivalent f-stop 2.8 lens. Despite being digital, the X-Half is all about the vintage film aesthetic. The $849.99 camera is so dedicated to an analog-like lifestyle that it's got an entire secondary screen just for picking one of its 13 film simulations, and it doesn't shoot raw photos at all. Just JPGs, for a more what you see is what you get experience. Fujifilm's definition of a half-frame is a bit different from the traditional one. Usually, a half-frame film camera like the Pentax 17 captures images measuring 18mm x 24mm, around half the size of full-frame/35mm format. But the X-Half uses a 1-inch type sensor measuring 8.8mm x 13.3mm, which is about half the dimensions of the APS-C sensors in other Fujifilm cameras like the X106 and X-T5. So I guess it counts on a technicality. But like the Pentax 17 and other actual half-frame cameras, the X-Half is all about taking casual, fun snapshots and bringing it with you everywhere. It weighs just 8.5 ounces/240 grams and is small enough to fit in most small bags or even some oversized pockets. The X-Half is close in size to a traditional disposable camera, but unlike a one-time use film camera, it has a proper glass autofocusing lens with aspherical corrections, and it even shoots some basic 1080 by 1440 video. Once you take some shots via the X-Half's traditional optical viewfinder, that's right, there's no EVF or hybrid finder here, or its portrait orientation 2.4-inch touchscreen, you can connect to a dedicated smartphone app. Launching slightly after the camera for extra functions. You can create your own 2-up diptychs like a traditional half-frame camera, though here you can pick out the 2 side-by-side pictures, or you can opt for 2 videos or 1 picture and 1 video. Fujifilm has baked other analog-inspired features into the X-Half app, like a film camera mode that collects your next 36, 54, or 72 images and arranges them into a contact sheet. But the film nerdiness goes deeper than that, as the digital film strip will be branded with the film simulation you used. There's even a faux film advance lever for making diptychs, and in film camera mode it forces you to use it between taking each shot. You can lean further into the film kitsch by adding filters, like a light leak effect, expired film look, or a 90s, era time and date stamp to the corner. Of course, since the camera does not shoot RAW, your chosen filter and film simulation are fully baked into the JPG file. You can't undo any of them or change it later in post-processing like you'd normally be able to with a RAW. Fujifilm is certainly taking a unique approach with the X-Half, trying to capture the interest of younger photo enthusiasts who in recent years have been drawn to the imperfections and vibes of vintage film and aging point-and-shoot digital cameras. I don't know how many of them will be jumping at the opportunity to scratch that creative itch with an $850 camera compared to alternatives costing a fraction of that. Like a $70 Cam Snap for digital or any 35mm disposable film camera for $10 to $20. But even if it's half the fun I had with the Pentax 17, it should prove a good time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.